everybody, welcome back to Q-Tips. We are the Video Store Junkies, and we are back once again to bring you a few selections to watch over the weekend on streaming. And we are a little short-staffed tonight, so it is just Paul and I running the video store. And I'm going to throw it over to Paul for his first suggestion.
Why, thank you, Renee. Yeah, it's a little empty in here today. Not too many patrons, but I do have some interesting films that I had not actually heard of before, and I actually want to point out that the very first one was pointed to me by the Bloody Disgusting website. They did like basically 5 deep cut films to watch this month, and only one of them is actually on streaming, and so that's gonna be my first one. The other theme is horror stories written by John Bowen that appeared as part of BBC's Play for Today series.
Wow.
So that's pretty specific. Yeah. So the very first one aired. So Play for Today apparently was, I'd never heard of this before. It was a British, basically drama series. Most of them actually ran about an hour to an hour and a half long. So almost feature. Some of them were feature length. This one's actually an hour and 12 minutes. It aired in 1997, and it's the episode called A Photograph. And it is currently streaming on BritBox, which is a great streaming service, relatively low price, that has all sorts of great British TV. And so A Photograph, and it's interesting because it starts off feeling very much like a drama. You have a husband and wife. The husband's sort of a pompous BBC presenter. And the wife has basically, shall we say, a nervous condition. She has some mental health issues, and they receive in the mail an unsigned photograph. It's just a photograph of 2 young women in front of what the Brits call a caravan, or basically a camper. And from that, paranoia sets in. The wife is convinced it's a sign that the husband has been cheating on them. She starts analyzing the photograph deeply. There's other things that go on, and at first, like I said, it feels just like a drama, unless you were paying very close attention to the opening shot. Because then, if you pay close attention to the opening shot, you'll know at least sort of where it's going, but not really, because even with that, you won't know to the very, very end where it goes. It definitely veers into horror. It's really good. It's a slow burn. Again, you kind of have to put up with the melodrama aspects of it at first, but it really works out real well. So it was kind of a neat discovery, and so that is A Photograph on BritBox. And again, you would search. I believe you had to actually search on A Photograph. Don't search necessarily on Play for Today, since they kind of list them separately, and so there you go. And so, speaking of people who are in photographs, I assume I will pass this to you, Renee.
Well, thank you very much. So I have a little bit of a theme myself, and my theme is the coast. And my first movie is just a classic. It is a iconic horror film of the 80s, and I believe that everyone should watch this movie. It is about a pair of young brothers, Michael and Sam, who have relocated to the California coast after their parents have
Oh,
split up. Yeah.
I like where this is going.
Yes, yes. And so unfortunately, Michael he gets tangled up in a rough crowd. But meanwhile, his brother Sam, completely on the opposite end of the spectrum, he befriends a couple of just really young, brave boys that are determined to clean up the streets, and they are fighting for truth and justice and the American way. Because this movie stars Jason Patrick and Kiefer Sutherland and Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. Oh my goodness. It's The Lost Boys.
Yay!
Yay! This movie is, it's pretty iconic. And within the movie, it has probably one of the most iconic scenes in all of movie history, which really has absolutely nothing to do with the movie itself. Oh, but I love it so very,
And what is
very
that
much.
scene, Renee? What
That,
is
that would be a scene of Tim Capello singing at the boardwalk. His actual song, I Believe. fantastic. The movie's very 80s. It has some amazing hairstyles in it. I just remember being heavily impacted by this movie when I was young. I really, for a long time, thought that Kiefer Sutherland was not a nice guy. I was like, "Oh, you got to watch out for him. He's not nice." And really messed up Chinese food for me for a while. Which,
Oh,
if you've seen it, you know. But yeah, it's just great. You should watch it. It's great. Now, I will say it's streaming. So this is a time to jump on it while it's hot. And right now you can watch it on Pluto. I honestly don't know how much longer it will be there. So if it's on streaming, you get a chance, watch it while it's there because it's not on there very often. Yeah, so recommendation. It is The Lost Boys. And
yay!
yeah. And on that note, I'll pass it back to you, Paul.
I will wholeheartedly second that recommendation. And to me, the final line in the movie by Bernard Hughes, who plays Grandpa, who played always. I don't know if Bernard Hughes was ever young. He always played old guys because he was old. But his line to me was what just like was the kicker on that film. And to me, that just it's great fun. I absolutely love it. So it's cool to hear that streaming.
Yes.
Well, let's get back to my recommendation. And actually, I misspoke what my theme was. So I said horror films that were written by John Bowen that appeared on as part of BBC's Play for a Day drama program. It should be horror films written by John Bowen that appeared on BBC's Play for Today drama program where the main character works for the BBC. So,
Oh.
my second film is from 1970. It's the episode titled Robin Redbreast. And in it, young woman who works for the BBC as, I think she's like a copy editor. She's gone through a bad breakup and she buys a house out in the country. And then she deals with the country folk and their strange ways. Oh, wait. You know what? I completely forgot. I messed up. That wasn't the theme. That was only part of the theme. The theme was horror films written by John Bowen that appeared as part of BBC's Play for a Day drama series that features the main character working for the BBC and also has a side character played by Frida Bamford, who is named Mrs. Vigo. So there you go. So there is actually a character that sort of connects these two, who may or may not be the same character. She's a townswoman, and so the second one was Robin Redbreast, which is playing on our favorite streaming service, Tubi. And I don't really want to say much else besides it's this young woman who moves to the country and has to deal with the rather strange locals. This is much more definitely horror thriller territory. I mean, a photograph is, but this is from the outset. It is prime folk horror. And remember, this is 3 years before The Wicker Man came out. They don't burn they don't burn anybody in a effigy here, and they don't get lost in the mud. Speaking of people being burned in effigy, but it's definite folk horror, really well done. Highly recommend it. And again, that's Robin Redbreast, and you would search for it as Robin Redbreast, and on Tubi. And again, look for rather large parts played by Frida Bamford as Mrs. Vigo in both of them. and speaking about people who can play the same character in multiple movies, I'll pass this to you, Renee.
That's true, because I'm a terrible actor. So I'm going to take you to the other coast, and we're going to talk about a movie that is hilarious and campy and very tongue-in-cheek and just very ridiculous. And you know what else it has?
What does it have?
It has a great cast. What do you get when you mix Paul Sorvino, Joey Fatone, Sonny Carl Davis, and 1980s heartthrob Jack Scalia?
Oh my goodness, you get something amazing.
You do. You get Jersey Shore Shark Attack.
Yay!
This movie is so ridiculous. And okay, so if anybody is familiar with the Jersey Shore, the main cast is very much a parody of the Jersey Shore crew. So there's this, and then there's all these cameos by people that were in The Sopranos and just all these random people. It's so funny. And it also has William Atherton.
Yay!
Yeah, yeah, he is the quintessential bad guy. So, yeah, it's got all of these just random cameos that you really would not expect for such a cheeseball, like, sci-fi original movie. So this is just a really ridiculous movie, although it's pretty entertaining, and I would recommend it. Where else can you watch this movie but our very favorite streaming service, Tubi?
Woo!
You know what I just realized? This movie
Yeah.
came out before Sharknado.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So would you say it's an influence on Sharknado?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, really, I think that the Jersey Shore shark attack paved the way for Sharknado. Wow, wow. I think that's, I think so. I think it really deserves. I think it deserves more recognition. Oh man, God help me. So, do you have a freestyle rap about Jersey Shore Shark Attack or any of the films that you recommended?
Let me see. Let me see if I can totally not generate one with ChatGPT.
Right.
In Jersey Shore, where parties go wild and free, shark attack hits the beach. It's a sight to see. Snooki and the crew, they ain't backing down. Facing off against sharks in their hometown. But really, I don't think Snooki was in it, was it? Guidos and Guidettes, they're in for the fight. Dancing on the sand under the moonlight. With fist pumping high, they won't run away. Jersey Shore Shark Attack, it's a crazy display.
Nice.
Nice.
There actually was a character named Nookie.
Nookie. Okay, so we just leave the S off of it. That's right.
Yeah. That movie's so ridiculous. For the weekend of September 8th, Paul recommended a photograph on BritBox and Robin Redbreast, also available on BritBox. I recommended The Lost Boys, available on Pluto, and Jersey Shore Shark Attack, available on Tubi. Who was Earl Ray? What's his name? Earl Ray something. The guy.
Which one?
James Earl Ray. Is that the guy that you guys like? No, that's a murderer. That's the guy that killed Martin Luther King. Sorry, that's not the right guy.
No, that's not somebody we like.
I did not be recording anymore.
No. You didn't record that part, right? Holy crap. No. Then I was gonna say no.
Who was the guy? He's got like a 3-name name.
Ray Dennis Steckler.
Ray Dennis Steckler.
Ray Dennis Steckler. Granted, it does sound like a serial killer name, but
Oh,
that's
son of a biscuit.